Hi there, this is Ranjit from tech2buzz.com, and in this video we're going to do the review for this budget dual SIM Android phone, that is Celkon A225. I've already done the unboxing, so you can check out this video for more info. And this phone sports a 1 GHz dual core processor, that's from the MediaTek chipset, and it has 512 MB of RAM, and it sports a massive screen, that's a 4.7 inch screen, and it's a huge phone. If you see, this is my Galaxy Nexus Android phone, and if I place both of them, this phone is still larger than that, and also it weighs a little bit. It has the heft. And coming to the battery, let me open up this back cover. The back is really nice, and it's kind of a soft rubber finish, so it's nice to hold. It sports 8 megapixel camera, but I'll talk about the camera a bit later. It's not that great. It also has a front facing camera with which you can make the 3G and video calls. I tested Skype and it worked. And let me open the back cover now, and we can open the back cover from here. And it's a dual SIM Android phone. And as you can see, we can add two SIMs, the SIM 1 and SIM 2. One SIM will be 3G and the second will be 2G, and we can also add a micro SD card up to 32 GB for expansion. And the battery is a 2100 milliampere battery, and I would say I did all my testing with just a single SIM, and with a single SIM it can last you one full working day, but if you're going to use two SIMs, you have to charge it almost twice a day. And as you can see, it sports a nice screen, and out of the box this phone comes with Android version 4.1, that is Jelly Bean. Let me show you the same, and let's go to about the phone. As you can see, it's running the Android version 4.1.1. That's nice, that's Jelly Bean. Also, let me show you the storage. I did not add a micro SD card. You can add that. By default, the phone storage is divided in two parts. The first one is around 500 MB, and the second one is about 1.78 GB. I would say that you should add a micro SD card to this phone and change here. This option is not coming. When you put a micro SD card, it comes, and change the preferred install location to the micro SD card. So storage will not be an issue. Also, it does support the the ambient light sensor. As you can see, I've set it to auto brightness, and it does a decent job. Outdoors also, the legibility is okay. I wouldn't say it's great in direct sunlight, but it is sort of okay. Again, we can't expect too much from these budget Android phones. And Facial Communications quoted me a street price of around 8,000 for this phone. And it's kind of a stock experience, but Celkon did modify a few things. As you can see, we have this app tray. From here you can quickly switch to other, and it's easy this way. You can switch on Wi-Fi, etc. So it's nice. The app tray is really similar. Again, Celkon did install quite a few apps that are preloaded, for example like Yahoo Messenger, Angry Birds, even Skype was pre-installed, Dropbox was installed. So they did install quite a few apps, and from here you can access the widgets. And let me now give you a physical overview of the phone. On the top we have the 3.5mm headphone jack and this nice steel finish. It looks elegant. On this end we have the power on off button and the volume rocker, and it's really silly to have something like this, because accidentally I was hitting the the power on off button when I was trying to adjust the volume. So it's really silly that they have the power and the volume button so close. And on this end again we have nothing. The steel rim goes throughout the phone, and it gives a good look. On the bottom we have the micro USB slot that will be used for charging. The microphone pinhole is over here, and on this end nothing. If we move towards the front, we have this nice earpiece, and the call quality is really good. And we also have a front facing camera. With this, I tested it with Skype video calls and it was decent, so no issues. We also had the proximity sensor and the light sensor, as I mentioned. The huge 4.7 inch screen, and on the bottom we have three touch type capacitive buttons. Let me unlock the phone. The first one is for the menu, second is home, and third is for the back. If you hold this home button for a while, you get the ICS style multitasking tray. Also, this phone comes with 512 MB of RAM. And first let me kill all the apps. Let's see how much RAM is available. I'm going to kill all the apps, and let's wipe away these also. And let's fire up this Android system info, and as you can see, the free RAM that we get is 153 MB with this phone. But again, even with this limited RAM, the phone was mostly responsive, and I hardly faced any lags. Yes, I did face lags at times, but most of the time the experience was very decent. One thing I do not like about the phone is the viewing angles. It says that it's IPS grade screen, but the viewing angles are simply just not that great. And yeah, if you keep the phone straight like this, it's decent enough, but if you move it left and right like this, it becomes really hazy. And the resolution also is simply not that great for such a big screen. That's 4.7 inch screen. It supports the standard resolution of 480 by 854 pixels. As this comes with Android Jelly Bean 4.1, we do get Google Now. That's a good thing. And let me show you the same now. Oops. Let's try again. What's the time in London?
The time in London, UK is 8:33 a.m.
So as you can see, you can ask questions like this. And let's ask one more also. Who is the president of India?
The president of India is Pranab Mukherjee.
So this also works nice. I've also connected it to my Wi-Fi network, and let's switch on the browser and let's see, it's loading the TechMeme website. And as you can see, pinch to zoom gesture is fairly smooth in most of the sites. As you can see, it's nice. Let's see if it's in the full yeah, it's in the desktop mode. And let's go to a heavier website like, let's say, news.com. Let's go here. Again, in browsing, I felt the phone was very fast and no issues. And as you can see, this news.com is also a pretty heavy website. And then also the phone does a brilliant job of rendering it. And the pinch to zoom gesture is also really smooth. It's the only thing is that I do not like the screen quality that Celkon has provided. It's nothing great. And as you can see, the screen quality could have been better in my opinion. So in terms of web browsing, I don't have any problems with the phone. Also, let me show you the YouTube app. You can play back YouTube videos, etc. without any issues on this phone. And let's search for my channel itself. That's Geekyranjit. Yep, it's there. And let's just play back this first video. That's the Galaxy Grand. Also, the speakerphone is adequately loud and clear, so no issues regarding the same. And let's change the orientation and see. And as you can see, it plays this video without any issues. So in terms of video playback, I didn't have any problems, and it plays the YouTube videos in high quality, as you can see. Now let me also show you some of the benchmarks that I did. I ran the Nina mark that tests the GPU performance of this phone, and I got a mediocre score. Nothing great, nothing bad. 23 FPS that we are seeing generally with these, what do you say, budget Android phones. And it has the PowerVR SGX 531 GPU. I tested it with quite a few games, casual games like Angry Birds, etc. all play well. Even heavy games, for example Temple Run 2, etc. run fine on this phone. But if you plan to play very high-end games like, for example, Asphalt 7, Nova 3, etc., they will not run on this phone. And this is Temple Run, as you can see. Again, you can't notice it on the screen, but the screen quality is not good. And if I'm tilting the, what do you say, phone a little bit, it's going black. So viewing angles are actually nothing great. It's kind of bad, I would say. The camera is not able to catch, but as you can see, the viewing angles are not good. But it can play this game, as you can see, without any issues. And this was my experience with the casual gamings, and even it could play some pretty decent, what do you say, 3D games without any issues. Let me show you the dead trigger now. That's it for this Temple Run 2. So this is dead trigger, and if you can see, it plays it without any issues, and it was extremely smooth to play this game. And as you can see, it's really smooth, and we just killed zombies here. So while playing Dead Trigger, I had a good experience with this phone, no issues, as you can see. So that's Dead Trigger. Let me get out. And as you can again see, it's really good, no issues. So let me get out of this one. Let me also, I also ran the quadrant benchmark. I won't run it again. I'll just show you the score. But before that, let me show you the system information. And it's running the MediaTek chipset. That's the MT6577. That's a 1 GHz dual core processor. The thing I do not like is the sensors. Celkon has skimped on the sensors like other vendors are doing these days, Micromax, etc. You don't have compass, etc. So it's kind of bad, because I was expecting Celkon to give all the sensors, because the Celkon A200 had a lot more sensors. And if you fire up this compass app, it simply does not work because it does not have the magnetic compass, as you can see. So it's kind of a bummer. And let me show you the quadrant scores. I saved the scores. Let's go to the gallery. Again, we got a decent results, pretty good in fact. And as you can see, our device got a score of 2909, which is pretty good for a dual core 1 GHz Android phone. Let me give you the breakup. The total is 2909. The CPU got a score of 4518. Memory is 3183. IO is 4460 and 2D is 312. 3D graphics is 2073. So that's for the quadrant score. Coming to the camera, it's an 8 megapixel camera. I would say outdoor it does a decent job, but indoors the pictures come out to be really, soft. We do get standard features like touch to focus and the standard settings. You can, for example, zoom in and out directly from here. As you can see, I can zoom in and out. And these are the settings that you get, the standard settings that we have seen. And you can adjust the brightness, contrast, etc. Also, it can shoot videos, and it can shoot videos up to 720p. Again, I would say outdoors the videos are okay, but indoors they are really blurry, nothing great. I have actually taken some shots with this phone. Let me show you the same. For example, this is a video that I took indoors, and if you can see, let me play it back. The picture is not that great, and it's very soft and kind of blurry. So videos indoors is nothing great with this one. Coming to for example, let me show you also some of the pictures that I took. Outdoors it does a decent job, but indoors there's a lot of noise in pictures in artificial light. Even with the flash, there's quite amount of noise, and the pictures are really soft, nothing sharp, I would say. Outdoors it is decent enough in outdoor sunlight, but again it's not as sharp as it should be for 8 megapixel shooter. So again, a camera, I would say the rear facing camera, yeah, it does a decent, okay enough job, but nothing great. And indoors it's horrible. Coming to the front facing camera, you can also do 3G video calls with this, but I didn't test that, but I tested it with Skype and it works perfectly with Skype. Let me also show you the multi-touch points with this, and it's nice. It tracks up to 5 fingers simultaneously, so that's nice. So what do I feel about this Celkon A225 Android phone? Again, I would say Celkon, I am not that impressed with this phone because it has some compromises. The earlier model I was impressed a little bit more, that's the Celkon A200. The screen quality is simply not that great. The viewing angles, it says it's IPS grade screen, but the viewing angles are simply not that great. And if you tilt the phone too much, it becomes black. So I'm not that impressed with the screen quality. Regarding the performance was great because it's a 1 GHz MediaTek chipset, and we have seen decent performance with that. Also for gaming, for mid-level gaming around, it's great enough, so no issues. But one thing that I do not like is some of the sensors are not there. For example, like the compass, etc. simply won't work. And also I do not like this placing here. The power button and the volume button are very close to each other, and I was accidentally hitting it a lot. So it's a decent Android phone for the budget of around 8,000, but I would also suggest that you have a look at the Celkon A200. I felt that yes, the phone has a slightly smaller screen, but overall that phone was a little bit better. I hope this video review helps. If you aren't subscribed to my YouTube channel, click the subscribe button. That's it for now. This is Ranjit from tech2buzz.com, and I hope to see you in my next video.